What is up, gamer, JEFFRO, channel, fam, what is up? Welcome to the Action Bible Study. We're going to get into and continue Job. Job is now getting advice from his friends, which we saw in the past episodes, and now he is going to God once again and asking him to deliver him from this sickness and this terrible curse that has been put upon him. But realistically, in his mind, he knows that this is kind of a test from God, but it's kind of more of God showing him that he has strength and that God is with him truly, even though these trials and tribulations are on him and Job is feeling like it's a curse and things like that. Just like in today's modern times and world, okay, we are still going through trials and tribulations ourselves. And Job shows us to still have that faith, even though we don't understand it ourselves and it's beyond our comprehension, okay? That we don't know why this is happening to us or why things have happened to us. Loved ones passed away, why there's illness we're dealing with, why does God allow children to go through certain things, or things like that, why is there war in the world, and things like that. Everybody asks those questions, and it is beyond our comprehension as human beings to understand those things, of why those things happen within the world. Why does God allow nature or his creations to destroy people's homes, destroy people's lives, things like that? Well, those things are not caused by God. Those things are caused by sin within the world, okay? War, famine, things like that. Yes, they do have a supernatural ability to them, but also too, man has created that because of sin. So the devil has literally gotten into man's mind, okay, and has perverted it to make famine a thing, to make war a thing, to make hurting people a thing, okay? And then you have retaliation, people going back and fighting against it because God is fighting, the good guys are fighting against the evil ones, okay? And they're not of flesh and blood, even. So war itself is just man, okay, corrupted by Satan, okay, to make it feel like that they are fighting against each other. Okay, just like in Job, the friends start cursing Job, saying like, you are the reason this is happening. And Job is like, whoa, I haven't done anything, And just like that, they're arguing back and forth. And the people he thought were friends are now, going against him. And that's how Satan gets to people. And that's how Satan corrupts people, is because God took his hand off of Job to show that even though through the darkest times, Job will still have faith in him. Okay? And that's what God wants. Sometimes he allows things to happen to make them greater and to make something good out of something bad. He allows Satan to perverse certain things, like a hurricane, for example, and to take those things to tear down people, because Satan's like, I'm going to tear down this family and cause them to go against each other. You know what I mean? Whether or not it's their home being lost or a loved one being lost or something to that nature. And then God comes in, okay? Whether or not the family is biblical, you have to be biblical. You have to go to God. God isn't going to intervene without your wanting it, okay? So you have to want it. You have to urge for it, okay? You have to urge for God's love. You have to urge for God's help, okay? If I'm trying to help you and you keep turning me down, I can't force myself to help you. You know what I mean? You have to want to be helped. Okay, just like God can't intervene due to free will. So just like Job going to God, himself going to God, you'll see that God intervenes in this situation because his hope never was lost. Even though Satan told God, I will make this happen to Job, and he will turn against you. God knew Job. He already knew the outcome. And God already knew what the outcome would be, and that was that Job would never give up. And God knows that in today's time as well, that we won't give up. He knows, even though Satan tempts us by our minds, gives us doubt, anxiety, depression, fear, okay, which are all weapons of the enemy. Okay? Whether or not, we know we have God. And that's why it's key that we believe in God and we love God with all of our minds, hearts, and soul. Okay? It's very important, because without God, nothing is possible. But with God, all things are possible. So let's get into the Action Bible Study. Job goes to God. Let's get into it. Thank you guys so much for joining. Job looks down and begins to pray. God, again I ask you, speak to me, and I will answer. Or let me speak, and answer me. Why do you hide your face from me? Am I your enemy? You have numbered my steps. You have covered my sin. You gave me a body. You gave me a soul. But my flesh has nothing but pain. My soul, nothing but sorrow. Job, your own lying mouth condemns you, Eliphaz said to Job. You do not fear God, Job responded. Look at my body and my face, for this is how my soul feels. God, why are you silent? And why do you let my friends speak to me this way? Job called out to God. My body and my spirit are broken, but still I'm mocked. My own friends have no wisdom to share, only condemnation and darkness, my Lord. Do you think we're stupid or something? You have eyes. We can see the evidence. This is what happens to an evil man, Bildad said to Job. Terrors rise up all around him, and then he is cast into the darkness, Bildad said. Men see him and are seized with horror, and then the world forgets him. Do you understand? Job responded to Bildad. Yes, it's happening right now. I am treated like a stranger in my own house. Have pity on me, Bildad, Zophar, and Eliphaz. Give me comfort and mercy. Elihu, do not forsake me. Oh, if only my words would survive, written in a scroll from those who come after me. I know my Redeemer lives. When my skin and muscle and bones are destroyed, yet I will see the living God. But you who tell me that wickedness has brought all this on me, you should fear the sword, the judgment. If this is because of the wickedness, then wait until you see what is to come for you, Job said to his friends. Zophar responded to Job. You? I? How dare you? You're the one being punished for your wickedness, not us, Job responded. You keep saying this is happening to me because I am wicked. But what have I done? Zophar responded. You keep it hidden, Job. Oh, your evil must have been tasted sweet, hidden under your tongue from the world. But hidden poison is still poison when swallowed. The wicked have only one fate. The Lord rains down his anger on them as they struggle to hold what is little treasure they have. But they are left with nothing but dust, which describes you, Job. Zophar, look at me. If you're going to accuse me like this, look into my tear-filled eyes, my painful face. You say the wicked die young. Not true, Job said. Rain falls on the just and the unjust. I don't understand why. Only God knows. No one can understand his ways. Well, God is punishing you for your unholiness. Wicked men hide their sins from mutual eyes, but you can't hide from God, Eliphaz said to Job. But Eliphaz, I've spent my life seeking to know God's heart. As you said, God knows my heart. He knows I'd rather live on all the words that come from his mouth than on bread. I just don't hear any of those words now. People steal and destroy. The poor are hungry and naked. Man murders man. Men and women commit adultery under cover of darkness. Dark people do dark deeds. Compared to them, I am not wicked. Compared to God, though, I am. And I would wipe that wickedness away if I had God's power. But God doesn't. Why? Perhaps I should be glad that he does not, because I would be wiped away too. Job, are you listening to yourself? Have I said anything untrue? Job said to his friends. Not exactly, his friend said. It's true that God is powerful and holy and pure. But man? Man is a maggot, Job. You, Job, are a worm in God's eyes. Amazing, Bildad, Job said to Bildad. You've really lifted my spirits, Job said to Bildad. Tell me, where did you get all this wisdom? Job, I'm just showing you what I have learned from other wise men. Ah, other wise men, I see. The face of the earth, depths of the ocean, the expanse of the skies. God created it all, and it is just a hint of what he is capable of. God has taken away everything except the bitterness in my soul. He may not speak to me, but I will not speak against him as you have, Bildad. Job gets down on his knees once again. Every word I utter hurts, so I'll make every word count. I only have time for truth. Kings mine the earth. Men kill to steal riches. The upright earn their living. They seek gold and silver and jewels dug from the soil. Gold and silver can be bought. Gold and silver can be found. Gold and silver can be given and accepted. But gold and silver is a treasure that can be stolen. A treasure that can be lost. A treasure that, in the end, will slip away. But not the greatest treasure of all. And what is the greatest treasure? Wisdom. Not just knowledge learned from the ancestors, experiences, or observations. And where does wisdom come from? The fear of the Lord is wisdom. To shun evil is wisdom. Wisdom is seeking to understand the life as God will have us. How long for the old days when I felt close to God? In those days when I walked through darkness, I did so bathed in his light. Young men and old respected me when I would take my seat with them in the city. Unlike you, my friends, princes and elders would listen when I spoke. Why? Because I was blessed and passed on my blessings to those in need, Job said. I defended those who were oppressed, comforted those who mourned. I helped the lame and the blind. I was like a king. Now, Job dropped to his knees. I am treated no better than one of my dogs. Job looked up to the heavens. God no longer blesses me. I look for good, but find evil. I look for light and find darkness. I cry for help, and no one answers. No one except you, Job said to his friends. Once, not long ago, I played my harp, and people danced with me. Now I sing a song of mourning, but you seek to count my sins. Bildad answered him back, because that is the only thing that can be explained. No, Job said. I have been faithful to my wife, not even looking at another woman. I always speak truth. I have helped those in need. I have never rejoiced at an enemy's misfortune. You may not believe me, but you're not the judge. God is. If anything you've said about me is true, then why didn't God's judgment fall on me sooner? This is like nothing I have ever seen, Eliphaz said. But, as we have said, how can we know the ways of God? Bildad said. You are being punished. The only question is, what? One of his other friends said. Stop, my friends! I'm younger than you, so I've held my tongue. You should be full of wisdom. I don't have yet, but I guess that's not always true, Elihu said as he interrupted the friends. Elihu, we have experienced much more of the world than you, but all you have done, Elihu said to the group, with your wisdom and experience is argue with Job, and you still haven't proven him wrong. You just condemn him for some secret sin. Thank you, Elihu, Job said. Don't thank me yet, Job. I have some things to say to you too. You complain against God for not answering you and explaining himself. But God does speak, just not always the way you expect or desire, Elihu continues. A dream, words, an angel, and experiences, and traditions, and punishment. When God speaks, it is to help you know him better. When God punishes, it is to help you turn to him. We all deserve worse than we get. He does what he does to turn us away from the darkness and towards the light. Elihu, I am innocent, but God denies me the chance to speak, and he doesn't answer me when I ask. He's not denying you of anything, Elihu said. If God does not listen to dishonest pleas, if he doesn't address those who speak in arrogance, why would he answer now just because you're tired of waiting? Elihu said to Job. God doesn't torment people. He is a teacher. And what a teacher. Because the law he teaches is the law he created. The universe itself answers to him, Elihu continues. The thunder can't compare to his voice. He tells the rain and snow when to fall. The wind is nothing compared to his breath. And you say he is silent. He's here, Job. He speaks. I'm a fool compared to some, but even I'm not stupid enough to speak as you have done. God is great in power, just in righteousness. It is right to fear him. It is right to bow before one who commands such a storm as this. Yes, Job said. Yes, yes it is. Job walks into the rain, goes to his knees, and prays. Job, God calls out. Yes, Lord. Job! Job looks into the sky as a light shines from the heavens.